What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Good evening. And there we go. What's up? How y'all doing? Okay, I think we're all set. Go live on TikTok and we should be good to go. All right. Tonight we are going to do some cool mushrooms, actually. I haven't done mushrooms like dedicated in a while. So I thought we would do some mushrooms tonight. What's up, Red Squeak? Bayo, how are you? Michael, how are you? Philip, what's going on? Sandollar, how are you? Leslie. Okay, and here we go. What's up, Dragonfly? All right, let's do it. Let me pull this into a point. Might blow up right off the bat. Let's bring this down. We're going to start chipping this away, heating it up. It's a little aggressive flame for it, but that's okay. So we're going to prep this, and then we'll do the, we'll make another mushroom, but I'm going to get this prepped. I'm going to do a pink mushroom tonight. I've never done a mushroom out of this pink before. So that's going to be kind of cool. And I need a little, we're going to use this. There we go. We're going to close this down. There we go. All right, we'll start pulling a point. This color is really sensitive. It does not like getting shocked with fire real quick. There we go. Little ooey gooey. And we're good there. Pull this off. So I'm going to see how many different mushrooms we can make tonight. That did not sound good. Something dropped. Huh. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, let's go ahead and do a super glow mushroom. We're going to use the glow-in-the-dark glass. There we go. And let's make a glow-in-the-dark mushroom. We'll do some funky cool colors on it and go from there. So this will be the glow-in-the-dark mushroom. What's up, Debbie? How are you? There we go. All right, let's get this thing rocking. I have a good idea for this one, and we're going to make it kind of cool. I think this one will come out nice. And then after this, I'll show you the mushroom we did the other day with the bee on it, with the uranium glass. That actually came out really a lot better than I thought. Yeah, it came out way better than I thought. There we go. Nice and straight. And we'll line it up with the horizon of my bench. And we're good to go. All right, I need to find a skinny little... Nope. I need to find you. Perfect. All right, so we're going to preheat this. While I'm doing that, I'll bring out the filter so you guys can see exactly what we have going on. As I bring it in here, you can see that it filters out all that excessive light, all the sodium flare. So that versus that. And that is how I see, that's what my glasses actually do for me. They're not just like a fashion statement, which I wouldn't choose these as a fashion statement anyway. I definitely would not. A mushroom you'd find in the Black Forest? Yeah, we're going to do, so this first one's going to be very enchanted. It'd be like a mushroom you'd find with a fairy. Like very, very, very colorful. All right, here we go. Gonna open that up. There we are. So now you guys can see we got an open tube, all clear. We're gonna preheat it, then we're gonna put the glow-in-the-dark glass in there. Now the glow-in-the-dark glass, Lizzie May, how are you? The glow-in-the-dark glass that we're gonna be using is called boroglow, or a different name under North Star. But it is a glass that I created many, many moons ago. And it is in a powder form. The reason I do it in a powder form is it spreads evenly on the inside of a tube. You don't have to worry about encasing, sleeving, or having an unequal distribution. So you just preheat it, put the powder in, let it spread in there nice and even. Heat it up one more time and we'll do one more pass on it. And it's going to be really good. Here we go, one more pass. All right. Now you can see from the side, it's completely encased, and then in the inside, you can kind of see it's all coated in there. How many different pairs of glasses do I have? Like 9. I have like 9 sets of didymium glasses. Not all of them are really, some of them don't look good at all. All right, we're going to close this tube off. Going to seal it down. Yeah, I have like 9 different pair of glasses. Some are made by a company called Aura Lens that's no longer in business, and they were the best lenses. I mean, very, very good. The only problem is they're super heavy. Like they are heavy on your face. Okay, I need a good punty rod. Oh, I don't want to cut one. Nope, you're way too big. You'll do for now. All right, so first things first, we're going to attach a rod right to the top of this, like that. And then the next part, we're going to melt about 3/4 of this. So we're going to leave this part alone and melt this in. And we're going to start forming that mushroom shape, that stem. No, you cannot watch the solar eclipse with these. Absolutely not. Yeah, you definitely cannot do that. Bad idea. All right, here we go. So we're going to melt this in. The tint is about like a good sunglass, like a good pair of sunglasses, about that tint. It's just a different filter. All right, here we go. We're melting it in. We're going to let it gravity drip down. Okay, we're going to bring it in here and melt this in nice and thick right here. Okay, she's looking good. Give it a little puff of air. Just like that. All right, so now we're going to actually make the actual mushroom part. This is where the fun begins. We're going to separate here. I'm going to see how many different forms of mushrooms we can make tonight, like how many different items and stuff we could do. Going to be a fun experiment. All right, we're going to try out the close-up cam, see if that works. Okay, it's working. There we go. Move this off to the side real quick, and let's grab some colors. Yeah, we definitely got to have some green in there. Definitely got to put green in. Get that little spin trail on there nice and even. So this is called a spin trail. It's just basically spinning the color on like that. Doesn't have to be too neat, just has to be semi-even. Oh, we're going to use that really rare color I have. I want to move this out of the way temporarily. All right, so we're going to spin another color on, and then we're going to grab a third color. And here we go. There we are. And a third color. I don't know why, but red is appealing to me. We're going to throw it in there. And last color we're going to pop on. You can get that spin trail going a lot. All right, we're good. Okay, so we have like 5 different colors, or 3 colors on there, plus the glow color on the background, which is really good. Bring it up here. We're going to try the side cam just for a second, see if I actually got it working right. Okay, where's my mouse? There we go. And side cam. There we are. Now you can see those colors bouncing in there. Like that. Luckily on the horizontal view, you get both. Yeah, I like these glasses. These are actually really comfortable. All right, so next step, we're going to psychedelically blend this. And we're going to do that by bringing the glass down. Kind of just melting it in. Blending those colors a little bit. We're going to go right down the middle there. Actually, this looks really good. I am not disappointed in it. And there you can see that the top needs to be fixed, but from the side you can see how we spread those colors down. Like that. Now we're going to fix the top. We're going to bring everything forward and give it a small swirl. Going to be amazing. Glad to have everybody. Welcome in. Happy Sunday night to you. Looking forward to the new week. All right, here we go. We're going to grab it. We're going to twist it. Actually, this looks really good. We got kind of like that little acorn head on it. All right, here we go. So we're going to heat it up and we're going to start getting it into the mushroom shape now. While I'm doing that, since we're up close, let's go ahead and use the filter here so you guys can see. Got the filter running like that. That is how I see the world. Like that. Versus that. It works out really well for me. And you now. All right, so we just got to heat this all the way up. Then we're going to put some air in there, expand it out. Then we're going to collapse it down. Just a little bit more. We're looking good. Bring it out, let it cool for a second. So now we got what looks like a ball. A lot of people think it'll be a functional piece, but it's not. So we're going to start melting right at the top down there. We're going to melt it down a little bit. Keep it nice and thick. Just let it bring down like that. Okay, this is the secret sauce right here. We got to heat under this section, right where I'm pointing. We're going to use a small flame. I'm just going to let it gravity drip down. This is very, very old school. But still very effective. I can't tell you how many people I see overcomplicating this. It's just a mushroom. So this is one of the first items I would learn to make if I was to start glassblowing today in 2026. I would do mushrooms. I would find a bird that I like making, preferably hummingbird or a cardinal, some type of bird that I like. I'd make me some mushrooms. And then I'd figure out one or two little Christmas ornaments. Pop a little air in there. We're going to straighten it out. Okay, so now we got that mushroom shape kind of going on right here. And last little bit. Yeah, if I was to start glassblowing in 2026, this would definitely be one of those items I would make. Because who doesn't like mushrooms? Like, even if you don't like eating a mushroom, they're still cool. All right, we got it all nice and balanced out. We'll bring it over to the side cam and I can show you guys how did I learn this? I can show you the view. I learned from my mother. She started in 1972 and taught me how to do this. And there we go. So not all the colors are showing up yet, but you can see we got a lot of blending of colors in there. And that red's going to start popping in anytime, and we're going to start seeing some red in there. See in the top, the red's coming in. So now we got that, and then the stem is actually going to glow in the dark. I'm actually going to leave this as a plant stick. I like it. I'm going to leave that as a total plant stick. I kind of like it as is. Yeah, I like that one. Hey, John, how are you? Okay, so I was going to show you the mushroom bee from last couple days ago. So I'll try and bring it out here. You can see that it's lit up with the uranium. This is the mushroom plant stick we did the other day. I might as well just go to the side view. Let me show you what it looks like on the side. We're going to be, so you can see all the uranium in there, the uranium wings on the bee. There we go, all the way down. So that is the uranium mushroom plant stick we did the other day. I think that little bee is cool. I like that guy. I overextended his antennae. That's okay. I overextended his antenna. Okay. And then later I'll show you the piece I did from Bali. I made this in Bali at a glass studio. And it's kind of cool. They have all this wood like this. And while the glass is molten, you fit it into the wood. And then it forms in there. So this is a little holder. I use it as a marble holder. But yeah, made that in Bali. All right, let's try this pink. I'm not so sure how the heck this is going to turn out. I've never done this color. Let's prep it with some colors that I want to use with it. I'm definitely going to use some unobtainium and a shimmer green. And I think we're going to throw some black in there because why not? Yep, we'll throw some black in there. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. What's up, Cody? How you doing? Hank, how are you? Thanks for joining. Sick Nasty, appreciate you being in here. All right, here we go. So we're going to snap it. Maybe. There we go. So that just cuts it, and then it makes it a nice clean cut here, and then I don't have to worry about cutting myself. All right, we're going to pop back out to the larger view for a moment so you guys can see the points being pulled. And if this explodes, it's a better view. All right, so we're going to start way out here and start heating it very gently. This stuff is shocky. So if it starts blowing up or if it blows up, I'm okay. I'm going to put my feet down though. It's just really, really freaking sensitive. It does not like to be thrown into the heat right away. Now this is going to be a big ass mushroom, damn it. All right, here we go. Into the fire. Please don't blow up. Still not out of the woods yet. See how far it drips. Not very. Now I have to put some force behind it. And there we go. All right, we're separating this in half here, right there. Let's preheat this tube so it doesn't completely go sideways on me. There we go. We're looking good. This is looking good right now. It would suck if it broke right here, because that'd be a lot of glass wasted. That would definitely suck. Okay, here we go. I think we're okay. All right, so we got that attached. We're going to create the stem. When you make these, you need about 3/4 of this tube for the stem and then 1/4 for the actual mushroom cap itself. And here we go. Going to bring it in. We might throw a little fuming or something on this. I don't know yet. I have a couple ideas on this one. First, I want to just get it done. Get it nice and gooey. This stuff is very pliable. Oh, there we go. Now we're good. So the next step, we're going to add color to it and create that exotic look to it. Again, I kind of want to do an enchanted version of this, but we're going to mix it up a little differently. We're definitely going to throw some uranium glass on this because I don't have any glow in there. So we're going to pop some uranium in there. I got to grab that. If I was uranium, where would I be? I'd be right here. Going to pop that on last, though. All right, I think we got enough there. We're going to go ahead and pop it in close. I also did this for you because everybody asked about the chandelier, so I went ahead and did that. So you guys could see the chandelier. There we go. Everybody always asks about it, so I thought I'd just put a view on there. All right, let's go ahead and add this color. And here we go. So we're going to grip it and rip it. Here we go. We're spinning the color on. We're going to do a nice little thin bead of this all the way around. There we are. Okay, so we got that one on. We're going to grab, what other color did I, oh, unobtainium. This one. This one's like a really, really dark green, super sparkle. The other one's a shimmer. This sparkles. There's a difference. All right, here we go. There we are. We're going to throw some uranium on there, or not the uranium yet. We're going to do black then. Uranium last. Yeah, we're going to put the uranium on last. And here we go. So we got black, and then we'll do the uranium very, very last. I love black and pink together. I think they look really good, so it's going to work out very well on this one. Yeah, I did make that. The chandelier wasn't like a project that I was like dedicated to daily, or for like I tried to get it done as fast as possible. I had a big warehouse and I hung a big chain off the rafters up ahead above. And I just made that piece 1 or 2 pieces at a time when I had spare time in the day or at night. So I spent about 6 months making 2 chandeliers. There's 2 of them. This is the smaller of the chandeliers. This is the small one. The one in my house is about twice as big. All right, let's add the uranium glass on here. We're going to take our time with this. I want to get enough uranium on there. Yeah, the chandelier in my house is like double the size of that one. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a cool mushroom. So this one's going to be kind of borderline psychedelic, enchanted, whimsical. Let's go ahead and bring it over to the side so you guys can get a view of it before we manipulate it. So now you can see all those colors running through like that. All right, let's bring it back up. So this is the fun part. We're going to make it kind of psychedelic, trippy, enchanted. Use whatever term you want. I'm good with it. And here we go. So first thing we got to do is stripe it down a little, lock all these little lines in place. Same way we did the previous mushroom, but after we do this, we're going to enhance it by finger painting. We're going to do Bob Ross style 3000 degrees finger painting. What I mean by Bob Ross style is we're going to be having happy little swirls. We're definitely going Bob Ross style tonight. All right, now you can see we added the lines all the way around. All that does is lock those little circles in so they don't fall off. All right, so here we go, back in, and now we're going to go finger painting. And then I'll show you the before and after a little bit here. So it's exactly what it sounds like. You heat the glass up to a specific point, and then you use the clear glass rod like you would a finger, and you finger paint this thing. Get a little bit done here. There. Let me show you what that result looks like. So you'll definitely see, so there are the lines with sideways and vertical down, and then there's the finger painted version. Let me heat it up. You'll catch a flash of it. It comes very quick and then disappears. But you'll catch a quick flash of it. You can see all the swirls right about there. They start popping in. We're going to do that all the way around. Here we go. And then we're just swirling and twirling all the way around. Here we go. You just have to go all the way around, then we'll swirl and twirl the top. You don't want to forget that. But like I said, if I was to start glass in 2026, this would be one of the first items I'd learn to make. 100%. Here we go, just last little bit here. Okay, we got to get this top cleaned up, and then I'll show you what it looks like. What's up, Groves? Here we go. We're going to grip it and rip it. What I mean by rip it is we grip it, twist it, and then rip the little top portion off, a little bit of it. and give it a nice little swirl. All right, let's take a moment and show you what we look like before we get to that stage where everything is kind of, you can see all those swirls running through there now. Very psychedelic looking, trippy, enchanted. And there's the top with the swirl. Gave it a little tiny swirl up there. But yeah, you can see everything kind of blending in there. All right, here we go. Now we're going to actually make the mushroom. So we're going right into the mushroom here. We're going to blow out the top. We're going to shape the mushroom. I can't figure out what I want to do with this, so. I have a couple ideas, but we'll figure it out. Here we go. Get it heated up. Might as well use the filter for a moment. You guys can see what I see. So it cuts out some of that bright flare there versus that. You can see a little bit into the fire. So that's how I see the world. Kind of like that. Now I can't hold that out there very long because the heat's hitting my arm and it hurts like hell after a little bit. But you guys are worth it. You guys are worth it. You guys are definitely worth it. All right, here we go. We're going to go ahead and we're going to blow this out. Create a little mushroom head. It's getting a little squirrely because it's thin right at there and it's heavy at the top. So it gets a little bit squirrely. All right, a little bit more. Here we go. Just balanced out real quick. Actually, not bad first shot. It's okay. All right, so now we got the mushroom started, but now we have to get it to fold down. So again, we're going to heat right underneath the cap here. Put the flame like right at that direction. Heat right here, and it's just going to fall down. Here we go. So we'll do it this side so you guys can get a better look. So we're just going to heat right underneath there and bring it down. Let gravity do everything for you. I knew that science class would pay off someday. And then we change the angle a little bit so it really starts falling down. The hard part on this is keeping it centered on there. It does want to flop around and move. It's constantly wanting to fall, even at a small angle. So you got to keep it moving, 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 moving. And there we go. We're almost done. We're going to straighten it out a little. We're going to heat the top up a little bit. I might try and get it down a little more. Not quite happy with where it's at. So we got to go a little bit further. It's not quite there yet. We're going to come out to this outer edge and get it to kind of swoop down over here. Again, still underneath the mushroom itself. There we go. Straighten it out and then give it a quick puff of air to take out the wrinkles. Like that. And we're going to make the top expand a little bit because it's not quite perfect. Little heat and just a puff of air. And there we go. Let's come off to the side view and give you a little closer look. So there it is. And here comes the reveal. And there we go. Like I said, very psychedelic looking. Got all the colors bouncing through all over the place. The uranium's in there. It'll look really cool when it kind of cools off. I do actually like that top. I think we're going to put something on the top of this guy. I don't know what yet. But that definitely has the uranium. Trying to think, what do I want to put on the top of there? Should we do a snail? We could do a snail. We could put a snail on there. Snail's actually kind of fun to make. Okay, if I was going to be a snail, what color would I want to be? Gotta have yellow. Yeah. Gotta do a little yellow on there. Oh, Gene, yeah, let's do uranium and yellow. Hey, what's up? I messaged you about the Broken Roses project at your shop. I know you're busy. Please let me know. I got you, Beo. Yeah, I haven't checked the email, but you're absolutely on the list to do that. You just have to get the roses to me, and I will turn them into a remix. So what Beo was talking about is I have a new project out there called Remix, where we take broken glass, and I remix it into something useful, like an item. I'll show you here in a second what I mean. Oh, crap, I'm on the wrong view. I'm so sorry. I'm on the wrong view. I'm a little slow. All right, so we got the yellow on there. And we're going to grab some different uranium. I want the super bright uranium. Not the 1940s stuff. 1940s is still bright, but not quite. Yep, there we go. This one. So this is uranium glass. And this is what it does when it's lit up. So it has that really bright green effect to it. You can see it glowing like that all the way down. So that is the uranium. So anyway, yeah, we do the remix. That's a new series we're starting out with. So the remix is going to be fun. All right, here we go. We're going to pop this off. Actually, we're going to come this way. And we're going to lay this uranium glass down on top of the yellow. So this is making the mushroom that's going to go on that, or making the snail that goes on the mushroom. This is a very basic item. Like, the snail's not hard. Once you see it, it's not difficult to make after that. You just kind of have to see how it's done. After you see it done, it's not that difficult. Just takes a little patience. Go ahead and pop it in. All right, so we got uranium on two sides of that yellow there. We're going to take a little black. We're going to streak it down, give it an offset. Actually, you know what? Yeah, it would be black. Going to do one section of black here. There we go. And then we're going to do one section of clear on the opposite side to keep it all even. Then we're going to twist it up. And boom. There we go. All right, so this is what the snail shell will start off like. You got basically black, uranium, clear, uranium, and then in the core is a yellow. So it should look good, technically. All right, so we're going to attach a little rod here, like that, and we're going to twist it up. All right, to do that, we're going to bring the flame down a little bit. I don't need that aggressive of a flame. Here we go. It's a nice little easy peasy flame. And we're just going to spin it. You don't have to spin it a million miles an hour, just have to twist it up. Nice and easy. All right, just keep twisting. And then we get down to the end here. We're going to take it very, very slow. Use all that color we can. All right, let's show you from the side. I know this can look a little goofy if you don't get to see it up close. So now we got the colors running all the way down in a spiral like that. Just a nice little blend of color. All right, we're going to take this, attach it right there. Come over here. And we're going to flip it 90 degrees. We're just going to take our time and wrap it around. Keep it nice and balanced. And we're going to pull that off right there. Blend it all in. Keep it nice and centered on there as much as possible. Okay, so side view so you guys get a look. So we took that, we coiled it around. Oh, you can't even really see it till it's got a light on it. I'm so sorry. I need a spotlight here. Now you can see all those coils running around that way. So now we just have to make it into a full snail. Here we go. Didn't know a snail was so easy, right? You know what? We're going to do it out of uranium. So we're going to heat this uranium up and we're going to attach. So we take it like this, we fold down this way. And here we go. We're just going to put a little tiny head on it. Get it all nice and melted in. Okay. You know I got to put googly eyes on it. A little bit more. Okay, and we got to put some black in there for the googly eyes. Blend it in really nice. We're going to add some little black antenna. All right, and then the last little bit is the bottom of the snail. Hopefully it doesn't crack on me. And then we got to make the little tail part of it, so this little slimy part. Now it's definitely got to have googly eyes. And here we go. All right, so we're going to pop this onto the mushroom. But there we are. We got the little snail going. Let me bring it over. You can kind of see the colors bouncing through it right now. We're going to put this on the mushroom, and hopefully we have a cool little snail on there. Let's go ahead and grab that mushroom. I'm going to leave this as a plant stake. This looks really cool. It doesn't need anything else. I was going to kind of mess around with it, but I don't think it needs anything. Then we'll leave that little twist at the end there. That little cornucopia looking tail shell part. There. Now we got the snail sitting on the mushroom. And we'll shine the light on it just so you guys can see. I can't leave it out too long. But now we got lots of color bouncing through this. It'll make a really cool plant stake. Yard art, whatever you want. But it's definitely got to have the googly eyes. Okay, so we got that done. Thank you. Yeah, it is kind of cool. I like the snails. They're a little more work than you would think, but they're easy. They're super easy. Okay, so I said I was going to show the remix. Here we go. This is the remix marble. Well, it's not even showing up. Damn it. I really need a light here. So this is a remix marble. We took a butterfly and a peppermint ornament, and we remixed it into a marble. So this was a Christmas ornament and a butterfly that we made into a marble. So this is part of the remix series that I was talking about. And Bea's going to send her flowers in, and we're going to remix them into something new. Okay, so the next mushroom we're going to do, I'm going to do a small version, but we're going to make it a pendant. Okay? And this is going to be a totally different style pendant. I hope I have some amber purple here. Oh, I do. We're going to take this amber purple and we're going to create amazing stuff with it. Okay. If you have stuck around this long, what's up, Charlie? If you have stuck around this long, this color is worth sticking around for a little bit longer. It's an amazing color. It's called amber purple, and it does some amazing things color-wise. I just have to center it on here. So I'm going to show you before and after. This is well worth the wait. If you've got 5 minutes, it's definitely well worth the wait. Yeah, the remix marble is amazing. Actually, I really like it. All right, here we go. Let's show you what the amber purple looks like before. And then when we get done, I want to show you what it looks like. So clear. It's got a little hint of something to it. Now, the end result, if you have never seen this color, you're new to the channel, I promise you, you will have never seen this before. If you haven't, if you're new, we're going to turn it into awesome. There we go. Got that off. Let's grab the amber purple. So this requires a little bit of a different flame chemistry. And we're going to use uranium on it too, because I said everything has to glow. So we're going to make this glow too. So we're going to bunch this up into a little pendant style. Little mushroom. Man, this, even the littlest bits takes a lot of glass when it's solid. It's insane. All right, there we go. We have a little teardrop shape, okay? Kind of looks like a little teardrop. And that's exactly what we want. You want that little teardrop shape. Trim that off just a little bit. And there we go. All right, so here's the side view. We're going to do a little amber purple because I promised you in 5 minutes and we're getting close to that time. Okay, so there it is, very clear. All right, this is the time you want to stick around for. Okay, very clear, right? Look at that, transparent. I'm going to leave it on the side view for the moment. So stick around, here we go. Got to let it cool and then we're going to bring it back in the flame. Let it heat up for a second, just a second. I'm going to bring it back over and all of a sudden we start having a little color change to it. But wait, there's more. Now that it's cooled off again, we're going to bring it back in. Heat it back up and give it back a little coating right there. And it just went a little bit darker yet again. Okay, we're going to let it cool for a second. Oh, I love that, Deborah. Yeah, this is going to have a uranium top on it. Okay, and we come back again. Now, look how dark it's getting. Okay, we're going to let it flash just one more time here. Okay, we're going to really let it cool. And we're going to bring it back in and just give it a little nick of the flame right there. Like that. Okay. So here, as promised, there's that amber color. See how it changed? But wait, now you can see it in all its glory. And it's going to get even better. But yeah, see that? Isn't that just amazing for a color? And it gets way better. That color gets amazingly better. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish this mushroom off. We're going to bring it over to the top 360 view. There we go. So we are using my webcam of choice right now is the 360 Link Pro 2. I'm not sponsored or anything. I'm just telling you because people always ask. I use a Insta360 Link Pro 2. And it's actually pretty awesome. So we're going to use a little white on here. And I'm going to tell you why after I get done here. Okay, we're going to separate that. So I use white on the base of my uranium because the uranium will reflect off of the white. So if I just use straight uranium, it will work and it'll look good. But if you want it to look super bright, you're going to want it to reflect off of white. So it's kind of like reflecting off a mirror, if you want it. All right, here we go. We're going to add the uranium in. Here we go. So that's why there's a difference between uranium glass and Vaseline glass. The Vaseline has kind of more of a milky Vaseline look to it. But that's because they added the white in there to give it a little bit of that muted reflection versus a straight up uranium. All right, so we're adding it in. And just a little bit more. We're going to go pretty big on this. The look I want for this is going to be pretty amazing. It's actually going to have quite a bit of uranium to it. A little bit more. There we are. Then we're going to bring it over to the mold down here. I got to change the view. We're going to come down into the mold and shape the mushroom top now. It kind of looks like a morel mushroom, I guess they call them at the moment, but that's not the look I'm going for right now. So we're going to round this up a little bit. We'll come over to the side, give you a quick view. We're not done by a long shot, but we kind of just rounded it up a little bit like that. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to decorate it a little bit with some extra color just to give it a little tweak, a punch. And we're going to use this really, really shimmer green here. Little dots. I don't want to completely cover the uranium, so we're just using little dots like that. Bring it back to the side. I'll show you what happens after we do that. So now we got little dots running around. And there we go. Now we're going to mix it up. Just barely blending it in. What it does is it gives this uranium just a little bit of a swirl of some extra color to it. Kind of gives it that psychedelic look. And it's the same thing. We're finger painting the whole thing, but it's going to glow like crazy. I just have to make sure to get it all the way around here. Okay, there we go. All right, we are good. I'm going to put a little tiny coil of spin at the top here. All right, there we go. So we'll bring it back in. There's the view of it before we get to it. Let's go ahead and get this into its full mushroom effect that I want to do. Now we're going to start going for it. No more color. We're just going to shape it now. Pull it in. All right, now that we got it kind of melted in, we got to bring it back out for you guys to see the dipping of it. Let me get it straightened out just a little bit more. All right, we got to pull it down just a little bit in the stem to achieve what I want to achieve. We're going to park it right there just for a second. We're going to pull this out a little bit. Pull it down just a little. I'm actually going to taper the stem down a little bit further. I don't want this thing to be super monstrous. It should be a pendant, not a, weapon. There we go. It's exactly what I want. All right, we're going to pop it off. And that's just a quick snap. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to start manipulating it now. I'm going to show you the before and afters and how we change it all up. In order to do that, I got to use the side view. So right now we just have this tall mushroom right now. And this is going to be a pendant. All right, I'll give you a little taste of the color. So there are all the colors in there. There's the uranium. See it reflecting off the white? Okay, let's bring it back into the 360 view. So this one I had envisioned pulling it off to the side. There we go. Oh, this will work. So we attach a little punty right there, and we're going to shape the rest of the stem. So it'll be a cool little pendant. Just got to get this right. Okay, there we go. Get it a little thicker up here. All right, so I'll show you from the side. So I didn't want the mushroom hanging like a normal mushroom, like the stem this way against your chest sideways. So we designed it down a little bit so that the mushroom top can be seen. I mean, that's the key to it. And then we got the mushroom stem down here. We're going to go ahead and make a hook for it. That way the whole mushroom cap is visible. To me, you want to see the mushroom cap. It's one of the things I've hated about making the mushrooms, but I love making mushrooms. But you can never see the cap. You do all this beautiful artwork up there and then you can't see it. Okay, so we're going to take that and then we're just going to create a little hook. And then the hook's not really interfering with the mushroom either. All right, I'm going to show you my pet peeve in the glass world too. This is like my super pet peeve here. One is if the hook isn't straight, that really bothers me. You take all this time to make a cool piece and then you don't have a straight hook in there. It bugs the hell out of me. All right, so I'm going to show you up close and detailed here. See that little nub right there, how it's just kind of sitting on that glass? It's not really blended in. We got to blend that in. How hard is this going to be? Watch. See, it's just kind of sitting there angry. So we're just going to take it over here and we're just going to use a very micro flame and just let it melt right in there. All right, now I'm going to show you the difference. If you see those big lumps in there, that is one lazy ass glass blower. See how it's all blended in now? There's nothing to catch on it. It's all like fused as one piece. That's what I'm talking about. How hard was that? Not hard at all. All right, let's get this, don't fall. Actually, I better do it this way. Let's get this stem all looking good. We're going to color it up. So the more I heat this stem, the more colors come out of it. We're going to pop it off right there. Then we're going to blend it in right here. And there we go. Let's bring it over so you guys can see the version of it. And here we go for the reveal. There. Look at that purple. That's why it's called amber purple on the bottom down there. That color is called amber purple for that reason. Then we got the uranium. I don't know if it's going to show. Not really yet. But that is a uranium glass top right there. Look at that amber purple color coming out. Bring it out there. And then it's reflecting off the white. Yeah, that's badass. That is a cool color. Okay, let's bring it back into the view. Thank you, Red Squeak. I like that amber purple too. All right, we're going to make a uranium glass pickle pendant. We're going to do a pickle pendant out of uranium glass. And the person that ordered the pickle pendants, if you would like this uranium, you know who you are. In fact, I probably have it here. Hold on. Oh no, it's way over there. All right, somebody ordered 2 pickle pendants. I don't have the name off the top of my head right now, but it's a regular person on here that's always with me and I appreciate it. So we're going to make a pickle pendant out of uranium. Straight up uranium pickle pendant. Yeah, we're doing pickle pendant. But this one's going to glow like mad. So we got the uranium there. I just got to pull this real thin. So we get those little pickle dots. I can't remember what the hell the pickle dot's called. What are pickle dots called? Someone, Red Squeak told me once. Was it you, Melissa? If it was, then yeah, you can swap. If you want, message me and I'll swap this pickle for one of your pickles. All right, we're going to pull that way in. Okay, one more little pull real quick, and then we're going to start forming the pickle pendant. Here we go. I knew it was somebody that was always with me. My mind's old. I'm old. Pickle pendant, pickle pendant, pickle pendant. Yeah, see? If you want to say something quick, say Irish wristwatch. I forgot to do that during St. Paddy's Day. Say Irish wristwatch 3 times very fast. Okay, that's enough. There. That's a tongue twister that gets you. Irish wristwatch. Okay, pull that really nice and thin. There we go. Okay, let's pop this in. I'm going to try something here. Okay, so that's up close. And for those of you that were always asking about the chandelier, there it is. I just kind of put a camera view on it. You can see the uranium glass and the jellyfish back there and the dolphins. Okay, let's go ahead and make a pickle pendant. Here we go. And we're going to trim this off. Here we go. I like having the timer on here. It tells me how long I've been on live stream. All right, this is full-on uranium glass. And here we go. We're going to attach. So this will be the pickle pendant. And if nobody claims it, then it's up for sale. All right, here we go. In fact, if you guys, I think Stephanie put the pickle pendant on the website. If you want to have a uranium pickle pendant instead of like a regular, you can purchase the pickle pendant regular, and I will make it out of uranium if you ask me to do it. No extra charge on the uranium one for now. This just for tonight. Meaning you can send a message tonight and tomorrow, but after tomorrow night, I'll have photographs in this ready to go. Okay, here we go. A little bit more here. All right, so we got the little pickle shape going. Little 2 tapers right there at the end. Now we just have to heat up the middle and give it a natural bend. Just kind of let it. There we go. Then we pull it down. Like that. There we go. So I'll bring it over to the side cam, show you the preview before we put the little dots on there. Good night, Gail. So there's the preview of it before we get the little dots on. Could also be a chili pepper, I guess. Could definitely make it into a chili pepper at some point. All right, here we go. I'm going to put the little pickle dots on. So we use a different green for that because you want to have a little bit of a contrast. And you just keep going all the way around. Okay, now we got all the bumps on. I'm going to show you the bumps on there real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and melt them in a little bit more. I want to make sure they're not like sharp or sticky. So let's go ahead and blend them in real quick. And then we're going to switch over the axis here. And I think for the uranium pickle, we're going to have to make a custom loop a little out of the ordinary. So we're just going to attach that there. We're going to detach up here. I'm going to park this in the kiln for a second. I'm going to put a couple more dots on here, and then we're going to make a custom loop for it. I think the uranium needs a little bit of punch to it. Had to add a few more dots on there. Okay, before we do the loop, I'm going to show you the pickle, and then we're going to park it in the kiln, work on a quick loop for it, and then we'll assemble it. So I have two ideas for a loop. We're going to make both versions. And then I'm going to let you guys vote. I'm going to let you guys vote which style goes on the uranium pendant. So if you've stuck around with me for this long, I hope you like voting in chat, because we're going to make a vote in the chat. So let's do two versions. First one we're going to make is a leaf. Version. Oh, I forgot to change the view. Damn it. There we go. All right, here we go. So we're going to make a little ball. I'm going to use my little leaf press, and we're going to make a leaf impression. We're going to try loop number 1. So we put a little impression in there. And we're going to heat it up. I'm going to curve that around a little bit. I'm hoping you can see the impressions on this. It's really going to be hard to spot, but you can kind of see the leaf impressions in there. So that'll be the leafy impression for a bale. Very thick. Let's go ahead and pop it back out. And then I'll make the second version, which is a new one I've never done for a loop, but I think it'd look kind of cool. So we're going to do a cold tap on here. Burn that off. Oop. That was a really good cold tap right there. Okay, one last look, and then we'll go to the other loop here. So remember, you guys are going to vote this in. Oh, did I hit the wrong view? There we go. So this is the leafy version with the little leaf impression. We're going to park that in the kiln. There we go. So the next version is going to be kind of like a vine, like a real vine. I'm going to try and make it hard to decide. The leaf looks really cool, but I want it to be really hard to be able to decide it between the two. All right, let's go ahead and make the vine version. Yeah, we're going to make a vine. The way we do that is we just take this and we fold, 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 and one more fold. And I just have to lock that in place real quick. Okay. Make sure it's not sharp. Then I'm going to bring it over and show you the newer version, which is the vine. So there's the leafy vine like that for a pendant hook. So between the leaf and the vine, you guys go ahead and vote now. If I can get some help from mods, if you can keep track of that for a second. So leaf or vine, you guys choose. And I'm good with that. And here we go. So leaf or vine? Oh, wow. We got a lot of vines out there. Pole is up. Awesome. Wow, we got a lot of, so we got Leafs on TikTok and Vine on, a lot of Vines on YouTube. Wow. Let's see what the poll's saying. Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah, I've never done the Vine before. I've done a Leaf, but never say Vine. Both? I can't put both on there. All right. YouTube has been popping off. YouTube, you guys are popping off on the votes. I got it. Yeah, you got to type. YouTube popped off. Vine won. So we're gonna put the Vine on it. Oh. Well, it wanted to be a Vine anyway. It popped off. All right, here we go. Actually, I like this. It looks good. It actually looks like it belongs. And there'll still be lots of room for a cord to go through there. Let's bring it over and show you guys what you voted on. There we go. So there's the Vine. I might tilt it a little bit forward a little. Yeah, there's the Vine on the pickle. And that is a full-blown uranium pickle. It's not showing uranium yet, but I'm going to tilt it forward just a touch. And we're going to tilt it forward just a bit. Yeah, that's it. Then we just have to blend that little, oops. Definitely running low on oxygen. That's okay though. I got enough to get through this a little bit. Yeah, I really like that. One last look on it. I think that Vine just sets it off really. For the uranium, that looks really good. We can't, oh, you got a little bit of the uranium showing on the bottom now. It's cooling off. So that's how bright it's going to be, that little glow down there. But yeah, I like that. That looks really cool. I've never done that before. I love that. That's actually really cool. All right, let's check in with our mushroom pendant we did so you guys can see the amber purple doing its thing. Because it's starting to cook in there. There we go. All right, so this is the amber purple mushroom with uranium top. You ready? Watch that purple, amber. Now look at those colors. I told you it's beautiful. Yeah, we don't got the uranium popping yet, but there we go. See that bluish purple color? Trippy, right? Came out really good. I could definitely rock that one all day. All right, so we're going to do a down and dirty, quick, fast mushroom. So I kept touting off that if I was starting glassblowing in 2026, I would start by making mushrooms. So we're going to do a down and dirty, quick mushroom tutorial. And we're going to go pretty aggressive on it. So right now we're just going to start off with this. This is a 10 millimeter rod. And how long are we here? All right, we're at 5 inches. We're going to cut it off. It'll be at 5 inches here. So this is going to be a down and dirty, quick. So it's kind of a tutorial, but not. We're going to bring it right in. Going to separate this. All right, so we're going to attach to the end here, and then we're going to burn off the other end. We're just going to clean it up. So we attach it there. This is really good practice. If you're just starting out, because the rods always are wanting to bend, learning to keep it straight is super important down the road. The way you kind of do it is just kind of hold it out here. You can kind of see whether it's wobbling or not. You can even use the top of your hand. Just check for a wobble. And there, it's all good to go. So you always want to clean the ends off too. Don't use this stuff. Don't be one of those people. See that end right there? See how fuzzy it looks? Broken. That little broken bit right there will end up creating all these little bubbles in your glass. So take a few seconds, heat it up, and pull it off and clean it. You don't want bubbles like that. It looks awful. So this is a quick and easy tutorial, how to make a mushroom. Nothing overcomplicated, nothing crazy. Let's see if I have a little bit longer version of this. There we go. Okay, so you got your solid 5 mil or 10 mil rod here. So this is a little bit opposite if you're just beginning. We're even going to use a smaller flame because not everybody has a gigantic torch. So you're going to start up here, you're going to attach on this end. And you're going to start by pushing a ball together. Okay, don't try and melt it into a ball without the attachment rod here, because it's going to fall all over the place. So just bring it in nice and easy. Now notice the angle I'm holding this at. I'm holding it so the glass is dripping down. I don't want it this way. I want it this way. So we're always melting downward. Like this. So you just keep going. Keep going. Theoretically, the mushroom head should be double the thickness, double the width of the glass rod. So if you have a 10 millimeter rod, you want the mushroom head to be 20 millimeters across. Okay, we're going to get down to a point here where it's going to look real scary, like that. Okay, it doesn't look right, but it's close. Okay, you're going to take that, you're going to separate it here. Now there are two options what you can do here. You can make it out of straight clear. You can put tiny little dots on there and create a little pattern. But my favorite aspect from here is to use what's called frit, F-R-I-T. Frit can be a little expensive, but it goes a very, very long way. Frit is something that lasts a long time. So we're going to bring it over here. I got a little bit of black frit down here. We're just going to roll it into it. In fact, I'll pop the camera out just for a second. So in this tray right here is some frit right there. We're just going to roll it in there, okay? Nice and easy. Do not push it in, okay? That's the key. Do not push it in there. Just roll it. Make sure you got the whole area. Oh, got a blank spot right there. There we go. So when you got that part done, it should look essentially like this. Okay, a lot of crustaceans on there all the way around. Now I'm rolling it into a black frit. You can use any color. White looks good. Red and white look good. Green looks good. Black looks good. I would avoid any crayon colors like the yellow or crayon red or crayon orange. They're a little bit. If you push it, you're distorting the mushroom head. You don't need to push the frit into it. It'll melt anyway. It's going to melt in there anyhow, so you don't need to push it. And you're going to distort your main mushroom in that process. So we're just going to melt it in really super easy. Now you don't have to use frit. You don't have to use anything. You can do these out of clear and they look really good too. Okay, once it's all melted in, I should change the view. Oh no, we're on the good view. Okay, we're on the large view. Sorry, I thought we were on the close-up. Once it's melted in, you're going to bring it over and gently push down. You want to push it down like you're petting a puppy, not like you're angry at it. Okay. So I'm going to bring it over to the side. So now we got kind of like that little mushroom top going. However, I'm going to give you my little trade secret here. We're going to do a little secret. Okay, I've never shown anybody this. Okay, this is for solid glass. This is going to be looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and pop it in really close. Okay, so grab your paddle here. Okay, start heating the edge, and so the flame is scooting it, not the bottom, but scooting the flame up around that way. Mostly on the edge, though. And then just paddle down. I'll show you what the difference is here. This little move right here makes the difference between awesome and crappy. If it starts getting out of whack, you just heat it up, bring it over to a marber, or you can just do this. Because it will kind of tilt to the side a little bit. Okay, one last run. So just paddle down. And you won't make it all the way around without reheating. Okay, there we go. And again, you just marber it back up. Don't worry about what it looks like in the stem. You're only worried about the top. And then just smooth it out because you got a couple little flat ridges around there. Yeah, you're going to have a couple flat ridges, so you want to get rid of those. But now you can see it kind of has that mushroom going downward look. Not just a flat, awful look to it. Okay, so once you got that done, and I'm going really slow so I can show you all exactly how to do this. Gonna punt you to the top up here. And you're gonna heat right at the joint between where the mushroom stem and the stem here are, and the top. Gonna use a little bit of a tighter flame. Come right in here, heat right underneath there. It's gonna bulk up and then just let it drop. Like that, and then burn it off at the back end. Create that little mushroom bottom. It's got like a little barrel butt bottom. You want to send some marbles? Awesome, Mike. All right, here we go. So we're going to create that barrel butt bottom. Now you can put hooks on these. You can get a piece of wire and stick it in there, call it a plant stick. You can also put it on a 6mm rod, call it a plant stick if you want to. Then you can have these like really cool little effects to it. But see, now we got the little mushroom there. And yeah, you can put a little hook on the top, create a pendant if you want. Let's see if the black is showing up really good. That's okay. Now, one little trick when you get a little more advanced to it, you can take a little green stringer like this and create a little foliage on the bottom if you really want to get custom. Get that in there, just blend it in a little bit. When you feel confident with color, and just blend it in there. So it looks like it has a little foliage coming up on top of it or from the bottom. And that little step right there just kind of takes you up a tiny little level, but don't try it before you're ready. But now you can see all the little green foliage running through the bottom down there. And this is a very basic piece that you would want to do. You have a choice of colors all over the place. And this is like, if I was starting glassblowing in 2026, this is where I'd start this and making a blown glass ornament. Now I'm going to just separate this. We'll use it later this week in a project. We'll maybe do some beginner tutorial projects. And I'll keep it on hand. But what I love about this thing is we're going to bring it out. Okay, we're going to test it. Ready? God, I don't want to bounce it off my... There. See? Super durable. That's why I like these. They're incredibly durable. You can drop them. They're not going to really break. Oh, you know what? What's up, Kevin's book? I forgot I got that leaf hook. We're going to put the leaf on there. How you doing, Kevin? Let's just put the leaf on there. And then we'll use it for another, like a custom pendant piece. We're not done with it yet, but we'll use it later. How you doing, Kevin? I'm doing good, thank you. I'm glad to see you. Hope you got some book sales going like crazy. Okay, here we go. Now I can show you guys. We have that leaf pendant. Might as well throw it on there. We're going to add stuff to it later this week, though. We'll create something cool with it. So we just put the little leaf pendant on there. I'll do something creative with it later this week. We'll definitely create something unique. Am I on the right view? I'm not on the right view. Sorry. I was not on the right. I'm doing good, Kevin. Thank you for asking. I'm hanging in there. It's been an adventure. It's definitely been an adventure this past month. Been a tough month, but I've been good. Well, that's good, Kevin. You need to be on the top 20. All right, so I'm going to open it up for questions. If you guys have any questions about glass blowing or glass in general, if you have any questions, fire away, and I will be happy to answer. Now, if you have anything that you want to know about glass or how to get started or anything like that. Oh yeah, mushrooms are kind of fun. Thank you, Karen. I am so happy for you, Kevin. You deserve it. You absolutely deserve that. What's up, Sarah? How are you? Tinkerbell, thank you. What a good name. We should make a Tinkerbell version mushroom down the road. What is glass made of? This particular glass is made of silica dioxide, I think, and believe it or not, a composition of what is the basis of borax laundry soap. So this particular glass is called borosilicate, and it's got a little bit of potash, silica, and then boron. So boron is what makes borosilicate. Yeah, they are special glasses. Let me show you what they do. We're going to pop it in really close up here. I'm going to show you exactly how they look. This will give you a great example of it. So there we go. See how bright the flame is right now? We're going to take this shield that my glasses are made out of, and we're going to pop it right in front. And now you can see the difference. So that is my world, and there's without it. And there you go. Do you need a tank, or will your concentrator be enough for... Your concentrator's plenty for a small torch. Yeah, you're good on a small torch, you're good. Yeah, Bale, you're fine. Try and avoid tanks if you can. There we go. Thank you, Rich. So yeah, that is the Rich Winder photography. Man, I don't know nothing about photography. I am totally lost. You have an art form right there. Yeah, you definitely have, photography is an art form. I can't even set my camera up for live stream. I don't even know what the heck I'm doing. That's why I'm on the webcam now. Where do you get your uranium glass? Okay, so there's a company called Molten. There's another company called Northstar. Northstar hasn't had it in a while, but Molten usually contains uranium. And then I have a whole bunch of pre-1943 uranium glass, which is this right here. This is uranium glass from 1943 or earlier, right there. So this is all tubing, but I have like 25 pounds of this stuff, and I love it. So I've got enough to last me a little while if I treat it correctly. But yeah, this is 1943 or earlier. Is welding the same? Yes and no. It's a different feel, but a lot of the mechanics are the same as that. Yeah, a lot of the mechanics are exactly the same, meaning you got, like welding, you got to make sure it's fused. Same thing with glass. You can't just like, boop. That's hard. Is uranium dangerous? No. Not in this form. There's barely any uranium in it. I mean, there's not a lot of uranium. It's like 0.05%. I mean, it's like minute. I ordered a Geiger counter just to show you guys, so the Geiger counter will be here in a couple days. But I'm going to leave it registering while I'm using the uranium. Yeah. Yeah, the phone is definitely... Background radiation's more than the uranium glass. How do you get the right COE in the U glass? You have to just make sure you order it correctly. There's only a couple places you can get it. Unless you get pre-1943 uranium glass, and then you're pretty okay as long as it's a Corning. Yeah, this is actual Pyrex. I want to say this is, I'm going to guess about 1939 to 36, because I was looking at the size they made this when they made this size, and I'm going to say 36 to 39, 1936 to 1939. But it's got a really good glow to it. And the way you can tell if you want to see if your uranium glass is made by Corning, it will be in American standard size. It won't be in millimeters. It will not be in millimeters. It'll be in a standard American size, like inches. It won't be in metric. Corning never made metric for that. For uranium glass, could it be reused? Yes, absolutely. You can reuse uranium glass all the time. You can just remelt it and redo it. That's the thing about glass. And we have a series coming out. We just did a first one, which is called the Remix. So this is a marble that we had it was a peppermint swirl glass Christmas ornament and a butterfly, and we turned it into the marble. So you can remix it, and we're going to be doing a whole series on remix. Like how to recycle old glass into something new, or how to take broken pieces and turn it into something new. That's going to be the remix version that we're going to be doing a whole series on. So like Bayo's on here. She's going to send me some broken roses, and I'm going to remix them into something kind of cool. Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing that. That's the remix version. I'm excited about the remix because it gives a chance to recycle all the glass. I'm a big fan of recycling the glass. Huge fan of it. There's no reason to waste it. Carnival glass is very pretty. Fun thing about carnival glass, all that color that you see on there was enhanced while it was hot. So they used to have this spray on there. It was something dioxide, I can't remember. But while it was hot, they would spray it with this coating and it would create that iridescence. And it's pretty dangerous to do that. That's why it's no longer really being done, because the chemicals would burn off and yeah, it'd be bad. Bad news. That's why they stopped doing leaded crystal, like Waterford crystal. The glass blowers that did Waterford lived to, I think, the average age of 55 because of the lead. That's why no longer leaded crystal, because they were dying at like 55. That was their life expectancy, and they knew it. They actually knew that going into it. Does that work with regular glass from a jar? It could, Kevin. Yeah, as long as it's something special. We're figuring out stuff we can do. I can reheat it in certain ways. I just have to keep the two glasses separate. But yes, we can reheat it and shape it into something amazing. Yeah, we definitely make hearts. I just don't like making hearts that are standard. I like custom. Can you achieve holographic glass? Yes. You sure can. I can. Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely create a holographic looking glass. Okay. All right. I think that's good at the moment. Is there a connector from the concentrator to the oxygen tube to the torch? There should be, Bea, but you'd have to send me photos. I could walk you through that. Yeah, I could walk you through that process. All right, I am going to call it a night. I thank everybody for hanging with me. It has been a fantastic night. Thank you for hanging. I appreciate it. Been a struggle getting all the cameras to work and stuff, but yeah, it has been fun. Thank you guys for making my night hella fun. All right, I'm going to call it and sign off, and I'll see you all later. And there.